India has taken a strong stand against Israel's attack on Doha at the UNHRC. New Delhi is deeply concerned about attack on Doha and condemned the violation of the Qatar sovereignty. Indian envoy to United Nations in Geneva, Arindam Bagchi, told UNHRC.
In Doha and their impact on the security situation in the region. We unequivocally condemn the violation of the sovereignty of Qatar. Such actions threaten peace, stability and security, not only in the region but across the world. India firmly believes that differences must be resolved peacefully through dialogue and diplomacy in full conformity with the principles of the UN Charter and international law. Any escalation must be avoided and respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states must be upheld. We strongly urge restraint and diplomacy to ensure that peace and security in the region are not compromised. Mr. President, we stand firmly in support of peace and stability in the region and against terrorism in any form or manifestation. We call upon the international community to remain united in efforts towards attaining peace and upholding the rule of law. As a close partner, India reiterates its solidarity with Qatar and its people. Thank you.
New Delhi is not alone in condemning Israel's attack, which violated Qatar's sovereignty. More than 50 Arab and Muslim heads of state met in Qatar's capital, Doha, for an emergency summit after Israel's attack on the city that killed 5 Hamas members and 1 Qatari security officer. This is not the first cross-border attack by Israel. Israel's war to eliminate Hamas has expanded across West Asia. Israel has targeted countries hosting Hamas leadership. It includes Iran as well. It marks a new and a very dangerous phase in the West Asian politics. Egypt moots the idea of an Islamic NATO. But can West Asian countries bond together? Can Shia-Sunni divide be bridged by Gaza war? When will war in Gaza end? Israel says that it is fighting for its survival and reserves the right to hit at the enemies of Israel wherever they are. Israel aims to eliminate exiled Hamas leaders and advance Netanyahu's promise of total victory over the groups responsible for the 7th October 2023 attack on Israel. The summit, co-hosted by Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, aimed to increase pressure on Israel amid escalating calls to end the war. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammad Shia al-Sudani, Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, Turkish President Erdogan also attended. Lebanese President General Joseph Aoun, Tajikistan's President Emomali Rahman, and Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara were also present. So all these people came together. The summit statement slammed Israel's expansionist policies. Quote unquote, Israel's brutal attack on Qatar, genocide, ethnic attacks, starvation, siege and expansionist policies are a threat to peace and solidarity. The summit statement also emphasized the need for collective security and greater unity to confront shared threats. Qatari's Emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, sounded a warning against Israel's vision of the Arab region. He accused Israel of deliberately obstructing ceasefire negotiations in Gaza through its recent strike on Hamas representatives in Doha.
لقد تعرضت عاصمة بلدي الدوحة التي تنعقد فيها هذه القمة إلى اعتداء غادر استهدف خلاله أحد المساكن التي تقوم فيها عائلات القيادة السياسية لحركة حماس ووفدها المفاوض، وهذا في حي سكني يضم مدارس وبعثات دبلوماسية. إذا كانت إسرائيل تريد اغتيال القيادة السياسية لحركة حماس فلماذا تفاوضها؟ وإذا كانت تريد التفاوض لإطلاق السراح الرهائن فلماذا تغتال كل من يمكن أن يدير المفاوضات معها؟
Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has threatened to attack Hamas leaders again wherever they are. Netanyahu said Hamas leaders living in Qatar, accusing them of blocking ceasefire effort and prolonging the conflict in Gaza. During a meeting with the US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Netanyahu repeated that Israel will hit Hamas wherever they are.
ואנחנו גם יודעים שיש עכשיו ניסיון של הטלת מצור על ישראל על ידי גופים שונים ועל ידי מדינות שונות, בראשם קטר. קודם כל מצור תקשורתי שממומן בכסף ענק, גם של קטר, גם של מדינות אחרות כמו סין, והם פועלים גם במערב, ולא פחות מזה בארצות הברית. החלק השני הוא יותר ממוקד והוא מוקד במדינות מערב אירופה, בהפעלת המיעוטים המוסלמיים שם, שהופכים קולניים, אלימים ומאיימים על המדינות. ולכן אנחנו רואים את המצור הזה מתמקד במערב אירופה. ושם אמרתי שמפסיקים לנו משלוחי נשק וכו', וזה קורה עכשיו. אנחנו נצטרך בשנים הקרובות להעצים את תעשיות הנשק העצמאיות שלנו, כדי שיהיה לנו עצמאות של חימושים, בכלכלת חימושים, ביכולת התעשייתית לייצר אותם. ולכן אנחנו נפרוץ את המצור הזה. Democrats and Republicans alike. אז האם השיגו בידוד עולמי? לא. ארצות הברית איתנו, גם הרבה מדינות אחרות, אבל יש לנו בעיה ממוקדת כרגע במערב אירופה, ואנחנו פועלים ונמשיך לפעול להסיר את המצור הזה. כמו שהצלחנו עם המצור הצבאי, כך נצליח גם המצור המדיני.
The threats come despite US President Donald Trump assuring Sheikh Tamim last week that such a thing will not happen again on their soil. Because Trump said that attack on Doha did not advance Israel's or America's goal. At the summit, Egypt proposed creating a joint military force similar to NATO with the chairmanship rotating among the 22 Arab League nations. Egypt would hold the first chairmanship. The plan includes better coordination between armies, air force and the commando units, along with integrating training, logistics and military systems of all countries. The force will be called the Joint Arab Force or Arab Unified Army. In case of an attack on any member state, the military action will be authorized based on consultation with the member nations and military leadership. The proposal was accepted in principle at the summit, but no concrete timeline was given. OIC issued a joint statement warning Israel and decided to increase the pressure at the United Nations. But there is an issue. Muslim countries often fight among themselves and their differences often emerge from this Shia-Sunni divide. Iran and Saudi Arabia hate each other. Turkey dislikes secular Muslim nations and countries like Egypt and Jordan, and including Qatar. Indonesia and Malaysia have a very different politics. So the issue is, can Gaza war resurrect the idea of Arab brotherhood? That's one. Can Iran and Saudi regimes reconcile on issues like Gaza? When will the war in Gaza end? More than 60,000 people have died in Gaza Strip. Their attack is not disproportionate to what happened. And lastly, is Israel right when it says that I have right to hit people who give safe haven to terrorists? These are the issues. And lastly, why two-state solution is not being implemented? On this, I'm joined by Professor Swaran Singh, Center for International Studies, JNU, Professor Scott Lucas, Professor International Politics, Clinton Institute, University of College Dublin, and Major Dan Pfefferman, Israel Defense Force and Executive Director, Sharaka. Thank you all of you for joining me. I've tried to put the entire picture, all sides, fair representation to all the views. Professor Swaran Singh, is this the new norm in West Asian politics? No covert action. We are witnessing direct military actions.
I think Israel's expanding or extending the war beyond Palestine to Lebanon, to Iran and to Qatar has got the whole region worried. And that is why this emergency summit meeting of Arab League and OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, together 22 nations of Arab League and OIC 57 nations. So that shows that there is a kind of a discomfort, if not uproar, that they need to collectively respond to Israel expanding its military action. But whether they will actually be able to create some kind of a joint force and whether that joint force will be anywhere close to be compared with NATO, I think those are serious questions. Even at this summit meeting, one could note a whole visible divergence of opinions as to what they are conceptualizing. They could not even identify what that minimal action